Hi guys, how are you all? You are watching MP Educations. Now today I will be discussing class 10 physics. The first chapter is light. Okay, let me make it clear to you that the chapter is light in your main book, but there are two parts. What are the two parts? First is your reflection of light and the second part is refraction of light. So if you see this book, S.Chand physics, there you will see there are two parts, two chapters are given, separate chapter. First is your reflection of light and the second chapter is refraction of light. Okay, so first we will be dealing with reflection of light. Now light, this chapter you have got in class 8 also, आपको वहाँ पे भी मिला था class 8 में. So first you tell me what is light. Now light हम लोगों को पता है क्या है? It is a form of energy. Yes or no? It is a form of energy. हाँ ठीक है. अच्छा. So मेरा next question ये है कि can we see light? क्या हम light देख पाते हैं? Your answer might be yes or maybe no or maybe yes. But the correct answer is no. We cannot see light. We can see the objects. Suppose just above this there is a light. Okay. Since the rays of light are coming and falling on this board, so that is why after reflection it enters into our eye. So that is how you can see the light, right? So this board, suppose if I turn off the light, okay, we are not able to see things. But as soon as I turn on the light, we are able to see this board, right? Why? Because when the light falls on any object, it reflects, okay? And when the reflection enters into our eye, so that is the time we can see the object. So basically, we do not see light, but what do we see? We see the source of light. Like, what is the source of light? Like a candle, you can consider as a source of light. Our tube light is a source of light, okay? So light is needed to see things around us. Okay, so this is the basic idea of what is light. So when light falls on certain object, it reflects from the object and therefore we can see this. Since light is falling on this camera, okay, and in front of me also, it is reflecting, and the reflection is recorded in the camera. So that is how the reflection of light helps us to see things. Okay. समझ में आया इतना तक? Okay. Now there is a basic thing that is not there in your book, but I will be discussing this. What is the nature of light? Nature of light. Now see this thing very carefully because it is important. Nature of light, we know there are two natures. Okay, you might not know. So there are two natures of light. What? According to this, there is a theory. Okay, I am coming into this later on. Nature of light is divided into two parts. What is that? First is your wave nature. Wave nature. And the second one is your particle nature. Particle nature of light. Okay. Now what is a wave? We know what light is according to this theory, light is a electromagnetic wave. Okay. So basically we know light always travels in a straight line in the form of wave. Suppose this is one more most important thing that you get in class 8. If you take a copy and roll it, and you can see the light when you put your eye here, yes or no? But when you make the pipe curve in this way, will you be able to see light? No, obviously. So this basic experiment shows that light always travels in a straight line. Okay. So how it is traveling? Light is traveling in the form of a wave. So according to this theory, light is an electromagnetic wave. Okay. But when the particle nature comes, okay, according to particle theory, what does it say? That light is a small particle, okay, which travels at a very high speed in a straight line. This is the particle nature of light. What is the nature? That it travels in a straight line with a very high speed. Okay, and that particle, the particle also they have mentioned the name. That particle name is called photon. Okay. So the interesting fact is that when the wave nature was discovered, okay, this was fine. But when the particle nature was again discovered, then they did not say that the wave nature is wrong. Okay, and when the particle nature also discovered, they did not say the wave nature is wrong. Similarly, the wave nature did not say that the particle nature is wrong. Okay, so according to this, what can we conclude? That the nature of light is called. There are two natures of light. What are those? The wave nature and the particle nature. And when you combine these two nature, we call as electromagnetic not electromagnetic. One second. That means the nature of light there are two types of nature that is showing. So that is called dual nature of light. Dual nature of light. Dual means what? Two natures. So light is said to possess two natures. What are those? The wave nature and the particle nature. Okay, and according to the wave, light is an electromagnetic wave. According to particle, it is a small particle called photon which travels in a straight line with a very high speed. Okay, and when you combine these two, then this theory we call quantum theory of light. Quantum theory of light. Understand up to this much? This is not in your book. So, but if you go in S.Chand, you will find all the things in detail. Okay. So, have you heard this word, quantum theory? Yes, obviously. Suppose when you go in higher classes, then the books or the subjects you will get in quantum theory. So, quantum means what? When we deal with the nature of it. Okay. Up to this much is clear. This is the beginning. We will be discussing two things. More things are there. So first, you tell me what is luminous and non-luminous object. Luminous objects are those objects which can produce their own light, right? Like for example, a candle, a lit candle. Okay. और क्या हो सकता है? Bulb. और क्या हो सकता है? Tube. These are all what? Luminous object. Why? Because they are producing the light. And similarly, what is non-luminous object? It is very understandable from the term itself, non-luminous. That means those substances which does not produce light or does not emit light. This is called non-luminous object. For example, this marker can be a non-luminous object. This board can be a non-luminous object. Okay. So this is very clear from these two definitions. Now coming to the next part, that is a reflection of light. Now when I say reflection, I have to consider a surface which reflects the light very well. Like for example, if I take a mirror, this I am considering as a mirror. Okay. When light is falling from this surface, suppose this is the source of light. From this source of light, light is falling onto this mirror, and after this it is going back, it is bouncing back. Okay. So the phenomenon, the process, okay, the phenomenon or the process by which light is going back or bouncing back. Okay. So how will you write the definition? Just write it. The process of sending back of light rays which falls on the surface of an object is called reflection of light. Understand? When the process of sending back of light or bouncing back of light, when it falls on the surface of any object, then the process is called the reflection of light. Okay. Before going into the next part, let me tell you what is the can you tell me the difference between glass and mirror? Can you tell me what is the difference? Suppose you take this. Suppose this is a book. Okay, this you consider as a glass. So what is the function of a glass? We can see through this, right? But in the mirror we can see ourselves. So how can you make a glass mirror? Suppose this is the glass. Now if you make the back side of the glass coated with a silver coating, we say, okay, then it is no longer becomes a glass, that becomes a mirror. Yes or no? Suppose this is a glass, you coat it silver on the back side, then it is not passed through, we cannot see through it, but we can see ourselves. Why? Because silvers are the best reflectors. Okay, so understand what is the reflection of light. So this is the reflection of light. Okay, now coming to the parts. Okay, before going into the laws of reflection, let me tell you, this is what this mirror is not only called mirror, this is called a plane mirror. Okay, because there are some spherical mirror also which you will be getting in the next sessions. Now you tell me, this is very simple things you have got in class 8. Suppose this is a mirror. Okay, the light that falls on the surface of the mirror, what is this light called? Yes, this light is called incident ray. Incident ray. Yes. See, when the incident ray comes and strikes on this point has also a name. What is this called? Yes, point of incidence. Okay, and from this, if you consider an imaginary line, straight line, my line is not straight, but you have to make a straight line. That imaginary line is called normal. Okay, this has to be perpendicular with the plane mirror, and when the light strikes at this point, ये क्या होगा? ये reflect करेगा due to reflection phenomena. So the ray that goes after reflection, that is called reflected ray. Reflected, huh? Don't write refracted. It is reflected ray. Understand? Now the angle. This is called what? Incident ray. This is called what? Normal. And the angle between incident ray and the normal, this and this is represented by angle I. Okay. Now what is angle I? Angle I is called angle of incidence, and the angle between normal and the reflected ray is called angle of reflection. So angle R equal to means what? Angle of reflection. One more thing I would like to remind you, that when you see this, you take a copy along with you, and whatever I am writing, you just write it down. Okay, so that it will remain in your memory. You don't have to learn things, right? So now I am not going to tell you, or the questions will not come that what is the angle of incidence, what is the angle of reflection, that you already know. Okay, so this is the reflection. This is the whole point of reflection. So incident ray, point of incidence, normal, reflected ray, angle of incidence, angle of reflection. Clear? Now coming to the laws of reflection. Okay, there are two laws of reflection. In 8, I think most probably you have got in class 8 also. So first law of reflection says that the incident ray, normal, and the reflected ray. Normal, you write normal at the point of contact. Okay. on the same plane. Okay. Now what does this symbol represent, or the law says that the incident ray, suppose it is an incident ray, it is normal and it is reflected ray. Okay. They has to lie on the same plane. That means, see, if you consider these 3 points, they are lying on this point, this line, this line. So are they lying on the same plane? No. So that what is the condition? That incident ray, normal and the reflected ray should lie on the same plane. They are lying on the same plane. And the second law says angle of incidence equal to angle of reflection. So that means angle I equals to what? Angle R, that you have already got. Angle I equal to angle R. Suppose when you suppose you have thrown a light here and the angle with the normal is 30 degree. So the angle of reflection will also be 30 degree. If it is 45, it is also 45. In this way, it is same. Okay? And don't think that it is true for only straight surfaces. Any surface you take, there also the laws, both the laws are satisfied. Okay? Laws are made in such a way so that it satisfies in all the situations, all the scenarios. Okay? So it is not necessary that this reflection or this law only satisfied in straight line. It can it is also satisfied in other planes also. Okay? In the next part, I will be discussing that only. Okay? Clear? Thank you. Okay. So in the next part, we will be discussing regular reflection and diffuse reflection. Okay? Then objects and image and the image formation. 3 parts we will do. Are you getting bored? Please don't get. Okay. So what is regular reflection? Now, regular reflection is what? Suppose this is a plane surface, smooth surface, like a plane mirror. Always remember that regular reflection takes place in smooth surface. So this is a smooth surface. Smooth surface. Okay? Now, carefully see the picture. When I draw, suppose the incident rays, these are the incident rays. And the incident rays, you have to draw in such a way they are parallel to each other. Yes? The 3 black lines are parallel to each other or not? Yes, they are. Now, if after reflection, the rays are also parallel. See? The green rays represent the reflected light. So, this is the incident ray and this is the reflected ray. So, incident ray will always be parallel because we are putting the light in a parallel manner. But after reflection, if it goes serially or parallelly, we will call it as a regular reflection, which takes place where? In the plane mirror. But in case of diffuse reflection, we have to take in consideration that the surface is not smooth. So, suppose this is a rough surface. Okay? So, incident ray will be parallel, I told you. Let us consider there are 3 incident rays which are parallel to each other. Okay? Now, after reflection, see what happens. One is going in this direction, one is going in this direction, one is again going in this direction. So, are they parallel? No. So, this will happen, this kind of reflection will take place in rough surface. Rough surface. Suppose consider the wall. The wall is a rough surface, although it appears to be smooth, but it is a rough surface. So, when the light is falling on the wall, so that is diffusing, that is scattering in all directions. That is why we get the maximum brightness in the light, because when the light is falling on a rough surface, it is scattered in all directions, and this scattered light again falls into another say surface and again they scatter. So that is why the reflection is diffused in case of what? Rough surface. And most of the places we see, except the mirror and say smooth surface, polished surface, all are what? Diffuse reflection. Understand what is regular or smooth, regular reflection and diffuse reflection. Clear? It takes place in smooth surface. And what are the smooth surface? Say mirror is the best example of smooth surface, where the incident rays are sharp, reflected rays. Okay? And the rough surface is like wall, okay, wood. These are all what? Rough surfaces. Now coming to the object and image part. Now, object, you know, suppose if this is a mirror, okay, if you bring anything in front of it, that will be an object, yes or no? Suppose you are standing in front of mirror, you will become the object. So basically, what is the definition of object? The object is those things, those items which will emit their own light or reflect their light. Suppose if you bring a candle in front of it, it emits their own light, so that becomes an object. If you stand in front of you, okay, stand in front of a mirror, then you are not emitting light, but when the light falls on you, then only you can see the image. So that means anything that reflects light or emit light will be considered as an object. Okay, and the virtual, the picture that you see in the mirror, okay, that becomes your image. Now here there is a special condition. Images are of two types. Okay, what are those two types of images? One is your real image and another is your virtual image. Okay, now what is a real image? Real image and virtual image, these two are very important things that will be coming in the later part. So real image is what? Have you gone to a cinema hall? Yes. So when suppose this is a projector and when the light is falling on a screen, that means what? The rays are actually meeting at a point. If the rays are coming and meeting unless and until it gets an obstacle, it will go on going. No? It will keep on going, right? So real image are those where you will see in the cinema hall. Cinema hall. Best example. How will you remember that what is a real image? Cinema hall is the best example of seeing the real image. Because what happens? When the rays are going from the projector, it actually meets at a point. Where? At the curtain. Okay? So that is a real image. Okay? And what is a virtual image? Virtual image, the image that we see in front of our plane mirror. So plane mirror is the best example of virtual image. Now, what happens in a plane mirror? Okay, that is there in the next part. Still, I am telling. Achha. Before that, let me show you this. Then virtual image will be clear. Suppose this is a mirror. Okay. Now I will make a object here. So this is the object, say O. Okay. Now when we are making the image of it, we have to make sure that we have to consider two rays. There are many rays. बहुत सारा rays यहाँ पे आएगा इस आईने पे. But you have to take only two rays. Okay. Suppose the light is going from here to here. Okay. So basically we know incident ray. So that becomes a reflected ray. And if you extend it in the opposite side here, okay, here also another ray I am drawing here, incident ray, and say suppose this is a reflected ray, then again I am, so it is not actually meeting at a point. What is it? What does the virtual image say? That the image after reflection they will appear to meet at a point. Remember this. This actually meets at a point because the rays are going and falling on the curtain. So their rays are actually meeting at the surface. But here, what happens? The objects are going. The rays are going. After reflection, it is going in this side. But if you put a candle here, you will see the image of the candle here, no? So this is the image of the object. O is the object and this is the image. Okay? This is how the image is formed in a plane mirror. So obviously plane mirror is a best example of virtual image. Virtual image is why it is called virtual image? Because after reflection the rays appear to meet. It appears. ऐसा लगता है कि यहाँ पे meet हो रहा है, लेकिन actually में meet नहीं हो रहा है. So that is why the reflected after reflection, if the rays are meeting actually at a point, then it is called real image. And if the rays after reflection appears to meet at a point, then it is a virtual image. Clear? Now if you extend the line, suppose it was dot, if I make a line here, so from every point there will be reflection, and as a result what you will, for every point in this line you will get an image of this line. So as a whole you will get the, if this is the object, you will get the image here. So image generally we give a dotted line, so this is the image. Understand? This is the object and this is the image. First you tell me whether real and virtual image is clear or not. Real image is what? That we see in cinema hall when the rays are going and actually meeting at the point. Okay? And in case of virtual image, the rays appear to meet at a point. They are not actually meeting, they appears to meet. Okay? So that is the difference between real image and virtual image. Clear? Okay. Then lateral inversion. Now the next topic is lateral inversion. Very small topic. Lateral inversion. Now what is the lateral inversion? Suppose this is the object. Suppose R-E-D you have written here. Okay? But in the image, how will you see? In this way, R, in this way you will see. So the left appearing to be right and the right appearing to be left is called the lateral inversion. Lateral inversion does not mean like this. Suppose if you are standing here, okay, suppose this is you, this is your left and this is your right, yes, but when you see yourself in the mirror, what happens? Your head will not go down and your leg will not go up. Okay? Just what happens? The right, it was left, no? That will become right and the right will become left. Okay? So this is called lateral inversion. Okay? The phenomenon of left appearing to be right and the right appearing to be left is called lateral inversion. Clear? So by this we have to conclude the last part, that is the properties of plane mirror. So first property, the image formed by a plane mirror is a virtual one. Obviously, that I have told just now, this is the first property. Second property of a plane mirror, that the image formed in a plane mirror is erect. It is same as the object set. Like for example, if you take, this is a mirror, if this is this is you, your image will not be like this, right? Will it be? No. The head appears to be at the top only. So object and the image will be what? They are not upside down. They are on the same. So the image formed by a plane mirror is a erect. Erect means seedha. Okay, not the, suppose this is the object, the image will also be this one, not this one. Okay? Number 3, the image in a plane mirror has the same size as the object. Image in a plane mirror, matlab, if it is 5 cm, then the object is 5 cm, then the image is also 5 cm. Okay, the height remains the same. The image from, sorry, the video was not showing. My battery was dead. So number 4 point is, the image formed by a plane mirror is at the same distance behind the mirror as the object is in front of it. So that means यहाँ से इसका distance अगर 2 cm है, तो यहाँ से इसका distance भी 2 cm होगा. Mirror से object का जितना distance है, image का भी उतना ही distance होगा. Okay? And the last point, image formed by the plane mirror is literally inverted. I just told, if it is literally laterally inverted means what? The left appears to be right and the right appears to be left. That happens only. That is also a property of plane mirror. And uses of plane mirror you just read from the book. And sample problem 1, 2 and 3 is homework. And along with this, page number 173 S.Chand, question number 1 to 15, all small questions you do by yourself and show me. And the MCQs you take it in the book. Okay? If you need the PDF of this or the image of these 2 pages, you just contact me. Okay? Thank you. सब्सक्राइब कर देना, because you know what, it's free. Okay, again we will see you on Wednesday. Okay, thank you.